10 purchase decisions that homeowners make over and over, not because the products are all defective, but because the decision itself was built on bad information. Some of these are about specs that lied. Some are about money spent solving a problem that didn't need solving. All 10 show up constantly in owner complaints, and every single one is avoidable once you know what to look for. Number 10. A generator sized off the wrong wattage number. This is the single most common equipment regret in this entire list, and we've covered why in detail elsewhere on this channel. Starting watts. The brief power surge a generator can supply for a few seconds gets marketed as if it were the generator's real capacity, when running watts, what it can actually sustain for hours, is the number that determines whether it can carry your home. Buyers who size their purchase off the bigger, more impressive starting watts figure routinely end up with a generator that trips the moment their air conditioner's compressor kicks on. Number 9. A Shop-Vac bought almost entirely on its horsepower rating. This one has an actual paper trail. Shop-Vac and Lowe spent 4 years in federal court, from 2012 to 2016, defending a class action lawsuit alleging their vacuums' advertised peak horsepower ratings were wildly overstated. Independent lab testing cited in the litigation found vacuums advertised at 6.5 peak horsepower actually producing under 2 horsepower in testing, and tank capacity claims that ran around 64% of what the packaging stated. The companies denied wrongdoing but settled, agreeing to extend motor warranties and change how the horsepower numbers were marketed going forward. If you've ever picked a Shop-Vac because a bigger horsepower number was printed on a bigger box, you were buying the exact number a federal court found to be misleading. Number 8. An extended warranty added at checkout on a piece of equipment that didn't need one. Consumer Reports has published on this consistently for years, and the underlying math hasn't changed. Retailers keep somewhere between 50 and 80% of what you pay for an extended warranty as pure profit, a margin so high specifically because claims are rare. Historical industry analysis found that in 2004, nearly all of Circuit City's operating income and about half of Best Buy's came from extended warranty sales, not the products themselves. That pattern holds in home improvement retail too. If a product already carries a 2 or 3 year manufacturer warranty, an add-on plan is frequently paying twice for coverage you already have. Number 7. A battery tool bought without checking which tier of the ecosystem it actually belongs to. We've covered this in detail comparing Ego, Ryobi, and Greenworks specifically. Greenworks alone splits across 4 separate voltage platforms that don't share batteries or chargers, and Consumer Reports found its 24-volt tier scoring near the bottom of its rankings, while the same brand's 60 and 80-volt tiers score near the top. Ryobi has no 60-volt tier at all. Buying the wrong tier of a brand you otherwise trust is functionally the same mistake as buying the wrong brand entirely, and it happens constantly because the brand name on the box looks identical across every tier. Number 6. A pressure washer bought without a second look at electrical safety. This isn't hypothetical. Multiple Amazon-exclusive pressure washer brands were recalled in 2026 for missing ground fault circuit interrupter protection. The safety device that cuts power before a shock becomes lethal, and 2 of them, Digivovo US and Beotac USA, turned out to share the exact same recalled model number on the unit. A 5-minute check of the product, listing for GFCI certification before buying, would have caught every one of these. Number 5. Heavy equipment bought for a job that happens once. Log splitters and chainsaws are the 2 most common examples. Multiple independent cost breakdowns land on nearly the same conclusion. If you're splitting wood once or twice a year, renting wins outright, since a splitter's typical depreciation of $40 to $100 annually means an owned unit rarely pays for itself before you'd have sold it anyway. Chainsaw guidance follows an almost identical rule of thumb. Renting for around $25 to $90 a day makes more financial sense than owning once your annual usage drops to 2 times a year or less. The equipment isn't the mistake. Owning it for a once-a-year storm cleanup is. Number 4. Paying a premium for a brand name that isn't actually building anything different. We've documented several real cases of this directly. Cub Cadet, Craftsman, and Troy built riding mowers coming off the same MTD assembly line. Husqvarna owning Poulan Pro, and Craftsman's non-MTD chainsaws under one roof. And Husky and Cobalt air compressors both built by MAT Holdings on shared Campbell Hausfeld platforms. None of that is illegal or even unusual. It's a standard manufacturing model called OEM production. It becomes a regret specifically when a buyer pays a real premium believing they're getting independent engineering that doesn't actually exist. Number 3. A riding mower or zero-turn bought for a lot size that a push mower would have handled. This shows up constantly in owner forums as buyer's remorse. Not because the machine is bad, but because the ongoing cost gap is real and compounding. We've built out the actual 5-year ownership math on this channel before. A standard push mower runs somewhere around $400 to $475 in fuel and maintenance costs alone over 5 years. A riding mower or zero-turn adds a substantially larger engine, a wider deck, and a hydrostatic transmission, each with its own maintenance schedule, on top of a purchase price that's often several $1,000s higher before a single gallon of gas gets bought. On a quarter-acre suburban lot, none of that additional cost buys back meaningful time. It just becomes an oversized, underused machine, taking up half a garage and demanding storage space a push mower never needed. Number 2. Buying from a brand mid-recall without checking. First, Generac is the clearest example on this channel specifically. 3 separate federal safety recalls between 2021 and April of 2026. A handle defect linked to finger amputations, a fuel tank defect linked to burns, and a carburetor fuel leak defect, all from one manufacturer in under 5 years. The Consumer Product Safety Commission's recall database is free, public, and takes less time to search than reading a product description. Buyers who skip that step are gambling that the specific unit they're about to buy isn't part of a pattern that's already been documented. Number 1, and this ties every other entry on this list together, buying the cheapest available option in a category where safety hardware is the first thing manufacturers cut to hit that price. GFC. Eye protection on pressure washers, carbon monoxide shutoff on generators, and UL certification on batteries. These aren't premium features, they're the actual floor for using the product safely. And they're consistently the first thing missing from the lowest priced listings in every category we've covered on this channel. The recurring lesson across all 10 of these regrets isn't spend more. It's know exactly what you're not getting before the price convinces you it doesn't matter. Run through 5 questions before any of these purchases, and most of this list stops applying to you. Is the number on the box measuring peak conditions or sustained real-world performance? Is there a warranty already included that an add-on plan would just be duplicating? Does this exact model or tier have a documented recall? And have you actually checked, not assumed? Will you use this enough times a year that owning genuinely beats renting? And is the safety hardware, GFCI, CO, shutoff, UL certification actually listed or just implied by the price tag? Ask those 5 questions at the register, and you've already avoided the purchase decision that put every single item on this list in someone else's garage.